Have you ever driven the same route to work so many times you can't even remember the journey? Or used a piece of equipment at your job without thinking twice about the safety steps? Today, we are re-exploring a silent threat that affects millions of people every single day: the dangerous comfort of routine. Our brains are incredible machines designed for efficiency. When we repeat an action enough times, our mind creates something called a neural pathway. Think of it like a well-worn trail through a forest. The more we walk that path, the easier and more automatic it becomes. This is fantastic for learning skills like riding a bike or playing an instrument. But when it comes to safety, this autopilot mode can become our greatest vulnerability. Let me share a concept that safety experts call normalization of deviance. It's a fancy term for something simple but troubling. Imagine you're supposed to wear safety goggles in a workshop. The first day, you follow the rule perfectly. Then one day, you're in a rush and skip them for just 5 minutes. Nothing bad happens. The next Jimmy, maybe you skip them for an hour. Still nothing. Slowly, what was once unthinkable becomes your new normal. This pattern appears everywhere. Construction workers who stop wearing harnesses because they've climbed the same scaffolding 1,000 times. Office workers who ignore ergonomic guidelines because their setup has always been fine. Drivers who check their phones at red lights because they've done it hundreds of times without incident. Research from workplace safety organizations reveals startling statistics. Studies show that experienced workers sometimes face a higher risk than newcomers, not because they lack skill, but because familiarity breeds complacency. A worker with 5 years of experience might become so comfortable that they start taking shortcuts they would never have considered in their first month. Consider the kitchen at a busy restaurant. A new cook carefully follows every protocol: washing hands, keeping surfaces sanitized, maintaining proper food temperatures. But after months of rush dinner services without anyone getting sick, those careful habits might start to slip. One shortcut leads to another, and suddenly the foundation of food safety has eroded. Why does this happen? Our brains are constantly calculating risk versus reward. When we perform a risky action and nothing bad happens, our brain essentially files that experience as evidence that the risk isn't real. We interpret close calls or rule violations without consequences as proof that we re-skilled enough to bend the rules, rather than seeing them as warnings of danger ahead. Additionally, time, pressure, and productivity demands create powerful incentives to cut corners. When following all safety protocols means finishing 3 tasks instead of 5, the temptation to speed things up becomes intense. We tell ourselves, just this once, but that once becomes a pattern. Here's what makes this particularly dangerous. Individual safety violations might carry relatively small risks. Skipping one safety check might have a 99% chance of being fine. But here's the mathematics of risk that people often miss. If you perform that action daily for a year, those small percentages accumulate. What seemed like a minor shortcut becomes a significant vulnerability over time. Think of it like crossing a busy street without looking. You might do it successfully 99 times out of 100, but that 100th time could change everything. The problem is, we don't know which time that will be. So how do we protect ourselves from the routine that slowly breaks safety? The first step is awareness. Simply understanding that familiarity can blind us to danger is powerful. Here are some practical strategies. First, build regular reset moments into your routine. Before starting a familiar task, take 10 seconds to ask yourself, am I following all the safety steps? Or have I started cutting corners? Second, use the fresh eyes approach. Imagine you're teaching someone to do your task for the first time. What safety instructions would you give them? Now ask yourself, are you following your own advice? Third, when something almost goes wrong, don't brush it off as luck. Treat that near miss as valuable data. That close call is your warning system trying to get your attention. Finally, buddy systems and environmental cues like signs or checklists can interrupt autopilot mode and bring your attention back to safety. Creating a culture of consistent safety is key. The goal isn't perfection. It's maintaining awareness. Some organizations implement safety moments at the start of meetings where someone shares a brief safety reminder. This keeps safety at the forefront of everyone's mind. It's also important to create environments where people feel comfortable speaking up when they notice safety shortcuts becoming normalized. Often, the newest person on a team will be the first to notice that the way we've always done it might not be the safest way. Remember that safety protocols exist because someone, somewhere, learned a difficult lesson. Those rules aren't bureaucratic obstacles. They're accumulated wisdom designed to protect you. The temporary convenience of skipping a safety step is never worth the potential consequences. The routine that slowly breaks safety is insidious precisely because it feels normal. It creeps in gradually, disguised as efficiency and experience. But by understanding this pattern, staying vigilant, and regularly resetting our commitment to safety, we can enjoy the benefits of experience without falling into its hidden traps. Stay aware, stay safe, and never let familiarity override your commitment to protecting yourself and others. Your future self will thank you. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more content that helps you stay sharp and safe.